The screen slams open in total darkness. A single heartbeat. Then another. Faster. A low, guttural rumble rises like a predator waking up. One match strikes. Flame. The fire licks across a mountain of raw chicken tumbling into a cauldron of boiling oil. The sizzle explodes into a roar that shakes your chest. And a voice, low and urgent, cuts through the inferno. You think you know fried chicken. You think it just appears. Hot. Crispy. Perfect. Every single time. But right now, behind walls the world never sees, a war is being fought. A war of fire against flesh. Steel against time. Science against spoilage. And only one side ever wins. Welcome to the hidden empire where KFC's legendary crunch is born. Cut to black. Then, light floods a corridor of stainless steel so bright it hurts. Steam screams from pipes overhead like dragons trapped in iron lungs. Conveyor belts thunder forward at relentless speed, carrying thousands of pale, raw chickens toward their destiny. Every second counts. Every degree matters. One mistake and millions of dollars burn. This is not a factory. This is a battlefield. And it all begins long before the colonel's face ever smiles from a bucket. Deep in the American heartland, under roofs the size of aircraft hangars, the chosen ones are raised. Not ordinary chickens. These are genetic athletes. 40 years of ruthless selection have sculpted them into living machines that convert feed into meat faster than nature ever intended. In 38 days, they explode from fluffy yellow chicks to 2.5-kilogram warriors ready for the line. Inside these houses, the air is controlled to the exact degree. Light cycles trick their bodies into constant calm growth. Feed rains down in perfect portions through silver augers that never stop turning. Water drips from thousands of ruby-red nipples, one drop at a time, because a wet floor means stress, and stress means tough meat. No one here is taking chances. But the real fight begins at 3 a.m., when the catch crews move in. Red lights only. Chickens see poorly in red. They stay calm. Gloved hands work like lightning, lifting birds upside down into modular drawers that slide into waiting trucks. No shouting. No rushing. One panicked bird releases cortisol through the entire flock, and cortisol is the enemy of tenderness. The crews know this. They move like ghosts. 40 minutes later, the trucks roll into the plant. The air changes. It turns cold, sharp, metallic. You can taste the electricity. The birds enter a blue-lit tunnel. Here, something invisible happens. Oxygen fades. A gentle mix of gases rises. They simply sleep. No pain. No fear. Just silence. The law demands it. Science perfects it. Then the lights snap to blinding white. And hell breaks loose. The line accelerates to 200 birds per minute. That's 3 chickens every second surrendering to precision. Overhead, robotic arms descend like steel vultures. Shackles snap shut. Heads tilt back. One flash of light. One perfect cut. Blood drains in a crimson river that disappears beneath the floor, recycled, nothing wasted. Now the real violence begins, beautiful, surgical violence. Scalders roar at 60 degrees Celsius, loosening feathers in seconds. Plucks spin like hurricanes of rubber fingers, stripping every bird naked in the blink of an eye. Feathers blast into cyclones, sucked away to become fertilizer for the very crops that will feed the next generation. Naked carcasses rocket forward, glistening under freezing mist. This is where the weak are destroyed. High-pressure jets hammer them clean. UV light scorches any surviving bacteria into oblivion. Then the eviscerators attack. Vacuum knives slice with sub-millimeter accuracy. Organs spill out in perfect order, hearts, livers, gizzards, each diverted to its own destiny. Nothing touches human hands unless it has to. Along the line, inspectors stand like sentinels. One bruise. one broken wing. One hint of disease and the carcass is gone. Air jets blast it sideways into condemnation bins faster than your eyes can follow. Zero tolerance. Perfection or death. Inside a glass room, veterinarians in white coats watch on screens that zoom to cellular level. They see what we cannot. They are the final gods of quality. Now the bodies plunge into ice water, the temperature of melting snow. In minutes, core temperature crashes from 40 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. Muscles lock into perfect rigor. This is the moment tenderness is sealed forever. But for KFC, the war is just beginning. Selected carcasses, only the best, ride upward on elevators of steel toward the portioning hall. Here, water jet blades moving at the speed of sound slice breasts, thighs, drums, wings with geometric perfection. Every piece weighed to the gram. Every piece measured for thickness, for fat cap, for the exact curve that will make the breading grip like it was born there. Rejected pieces? They don't cry. They become nuggets, strips, popcorn chicken. Nothing is wasted. Everything has a purpose. Now watch this. Mountains of raw chicken thunder down chutes into mixers the size of small cars. Seasoning cascades in golden storms, not the final 11 herbs and spices yet, that comes later, under heavier guard, but the first kiss of salt, of flavor, of promise. Then the real magic. The pieces march into the breading arena. First station, flour avalanche. White death from above. Second, swirling pools of cold marinade injected with phosphates that lock moisture inside every fiber. Third, the predator drum. A spinning colossus that tumbles chicken in flour like clothes in a violent dryer. Excess explodes outward in clouds you can feel in your throat. Fourth, the final baptism, a curtain of liquid egg wash that glues the second coat forever. And now, the moment the world waits for. Par fry. The chicken dives into oil at 185 degrees Celsius. The second it hits, the moisture inside flashes to steam, blasting outward, creating microscopic craters that will become the legendary crunch. 12 minutes under pressure in the original Colonel's method, now perfected in continuous fryers that never sleep. Watch it happen in slow motion. The coating bubbles. It swells. It turns the color of desert gold. Moisture trapped inside superheats, cooking the meat to juicy perfection while the crust hardens into armor. Out they come, dripping glory. But they're not done. Flash freezers at -40 degrees Celsius hit them like an Arctic hammer. In 20 minutes, they're solid as stone, locked in time, ready to travel the world. Now comes the part they guard like nuclear codes. In a facility surrounded by fences, cameras, and lies, two separate companies create two separate halves of the 11 herbs and spices. One knows only numbers 1 through 6. The other 7 through 11. Neither knows the full recipe. The two powders meet only once, inside armored mixers watched by men who have signed their lives away. The final blend is packed into bags that look innocent. But touch one without clearance and alarms scream. These bags ride in unmarked trucks to distribution centers colder than the Arctic. From there, they vanish into the night, headed for 25,000 KFCs in 145 countries. And when that restaurant door swings open, when you hear the bell, when the cashier smiles and says, 11 minutes, what you're really witnessing is the end of a journey that began 38 days earlier with a single egg. From a dark incubator to a roaring fryer. From a quiet farm to a factory that never sleeps. From raw meat to the crunch that echoes around the planet. Every piece you hold was once part of a war you'll never see. Fought with machines that scream. With fire that never forgives. With precision that would shame a Swiss watch. And it all happened so you can have 11 herbs and spices, extra crispy, in your hands before the song on the radio even ends. Next time you bite into that perfect crust. Listen. You can almost hear the machines still roaring. Because out there, right now, the next batch is already on the line. The oil is heating. The clocks are ticking. And the war never stops. This is how legends are fried.